your coffee cup on my nightstand. Not to reminisce, just a reminder to never go back to a life we shared. Anytime I'm feeling the urge to look at a picture, oh, I get so confused. 'Cause I swear I am so over you. My mommy told me that we shouldn't worry. Daddy told me just a good story. He said to move on and keep going. Imagine we had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes. Don't break the same tragic goodbyes. What if this
One, two. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. And shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet. Unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
October 19th, 2023, and you're listening to episode 357 of the PHP Ugly Podcast, a podcast dedicated to the PHP language and community. We got the band back together tonight. The whole crew's here, so that's exciting. I'm one of your hosts. Let's be real. I'm the real host, Eric Van Johnson, and we get together every Thursday night. We do our little skit. We do our little thing. We try to make everybody laugh a little bit. Try to give everybody a little insight in what's going on in the PHP world and running a PHP business. This podcast is made better thanks to some sponsors, honeybadger.io and PhpStorm, as well as PHP Architect, and our fantastic supporters on Patreon. We're going to talk about all of them in a little bit, but for now, let me introduce to you the one and only John Congdon.
I was waiting for all the doom and gloom that you had in your tweet.
And Tom Rado.
Hello, I didn't see any doom and gloom tweet. What's
It's because you don't pay attention to the man, the myth, the legend that is Eric Van Johnson.
Yeah, that just gives him more power.
You know, I do a little work, I do a little research, I look into things, I try to make people read our tweets, get them a little interested. Yes, the stock market crashed. This day, what I forget when it was.
1987.
87, yeah. Whew.
Oh.
So yeah.
Black Monday, they called it.
Crazy things, man. Crazy things all together. Tom.
Hello.
Back in the great state of Colorado, are you?
I am indeed. It's very nice to be back. I unfortunately missed you guys while I was there. But boy, you know,
Are you really sorry? Or are you happy you missed us? Like, was it like planned
I'm
that way?
sorry. It was really impossible. It was the first trip I've taken without the kids, with just me and my wife. And it was very nice, but we sure packed it full of events. And I don't think I've ever eaten so much food over a 3-day period as I have when I was there.
Cool.
But
Sounds
lots
like
of
you had a
fun.
good time at least.
Did have a good time. And you know, next time I'll see
No,
you guys.
I'm busy. I'm busy next time.
You're busy
sorry.
next
Yeah.
time doing your
I'm
hair.
busy. I'm doing
Eric-
nothing's.
Eric's current wife is in Discord, which, by the way, discord.phpugly.com. Join us. We have a ton of fun in there, and some of the stuff we're talking about tonight was because of our community in Discord. I did share with Eric that his wonderful wife tried to set up a meeting between the three of us, and between your excuses, as she puts it, and my pre-planned outage,
Excuses?
where
Oh,
my
okay.
pre-planned activities that I had with my wife, excuse me, we did not get together.
She's not wrong.
Would
They
have-
were excuses.
Yeah.
She's a good one. She's a keeper.
I went to the 90s hip hop throwback concert on Friday and had a blast. It was a lot of fun.
See a little Ice Cube.
We did.
Wu-Tang? Was Wu-Tang at that one?
No Wu-Tang. No Wu-Tang.
I know they mixed it up. I think Wu-Tang was in LA at the LA one or something. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, there's Rob Bass and Lighter Shade of Brown.
Came to
and
get down.
Warren G.
Was it mostly people our age, or
Oh yeah. Yeah. Or our age or older and trying to look like they were our age back when the 90s were the 90s.
sure, that's what you do? Put on the Jinko pants, the members only jackets.
Yeah. It was good.
Uh,
And then followed that up. So my wife took me to that. That was for me, and then we went to see Brandy Carlisle up in LA for her. So it was a weekend full of concerts.
So you do drive up to LA. Oh, good to know. Good.
Yeah.
Happy to know that.
I just don't go. I don't go that way because
There's nothing there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing the other way.
I like how he stretches out his shirt right at that point. Like, this is bullshit.
Yes.
Halloween shirt.
All right. Should we talk about our weeks? Did you have a week, or was it just?
I had a bit of a week. I had a bit of a day, just chasing
Let's
down
hear
a
it.
bug that screwed everything up, and it is when you have a bug that really just sinks everything, and it has to get reverted, and you have to work on it again. It is just so frustrating, and you just feel like the worst developer in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that'll be brought up in my AI-assisted ad read later. But today I'm just the worst developer in the world, and it sucked so much.
Yeah, there's nothing more special as a developer than doing a deployment and then waking up the next morning to a bunch of emails and Slack messages, and you just know it's because of you. You just know it.
And other people having to do work now to fix your problem. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah.
I had the same exact situation. Code deployed last week, got reverted, worked on it, tried to fix it, and first thing this morning, it's not working. Or it's not working in this specific case. And it's like, we did so much testing. It's in searching. So if you search for multiple things in the advanced search section, it worked fine because that's what was tested. It was like, this needs to work. If you tested just one single field, nope. Doesn't work. So, and then on top of that, I was out midday working remote. and I get messaged, hey, it doesn't work for, it only works for admins of teams, not for anybody else on the team. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I went and changed 2 lines to make that work. Get messaged, it gets released, get messaged. Now they're saying it doesn't work for anybody. I'm like, that makes no sense. What I changed for admins would still work for admins, and it should have worked for everybody. And I'm like, I'm not gonna I'll be home in 30 minutes. I can look at it then. And they're like, it's okay, this can wait. I get home and I log into the servers. I'm like, where's my code? So I'm like, did you revert my code? Like, it's not here. Oh crap, shoot me now. I only released it to this environment, not to the one that's affected.
See,
release the fix and no complaints. Okay.
my issue sort of cascaded so that you didn't see that it was an issue till later on. So there were already several people working on it when they realized it was my problem. And yeah, it's always fun when someone's like, hey, I think your thing caused this bug. Like, I don't see how that's even remotely possible. Oh God. Oh,
now
no,
I see it.
That is one of the benefits of working remote. You don't have to walk into the office to that like glare of death. I remember when I worked in the enterprise, you'd walk in and like all the developers were like in one area, and whenever one of them released something that broke, you could always tell because like everybody, the moment they walked in, everybody turned their heads and looked at them. Dead man walking.
Yeah, it's rough, but
so the funny part is somebody on the team for my bug is very pro PHP stan, or is very up on things, and which I love. It's great, but we've started paying more attention to warnings in addition to errors.
Mm.
And last night he was like, hey, did you fix this warning? I'm like, it's a warning, it's fine, I'll look at it tomorrow. Yeah, that would have solved the issue. I'm like, don't tell him that this was the fix. Love you, Andy.
That's awesome. Oh man, well, so I had quite the week last week, and even this week. We had. Was it last week I did roundtable, or was that the week before?
It was Friday. It was Friday last week.
It was Friday. I did roundtable. Yeah, we did
Yeah.
the developer relations roundtable, which is great. I really didn't know how that one would go because I really didn't know what developer relations people did. I just know I saw them at conferences all the time, and it was a lot more insightful than I had thought it was going to be. And I had some great people on there too.
Such a great panel. That was fantastic.
Yeah, Dave Stokes couldn't make it. Unfortunately, Dave Stokes, who's like the one guy I see at every conference I go to. And it was really weird, that quilting conference. It was so weird to see him there. But Dave Stokes is at every conference, and his internet goes out like an hour before we're supposed to start streaming. But I had Cal, I had Casey Danger, and
Casey.
Danger Casey, yeah. Tim showed up. Thanks for that, John.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Steve was there.
Fucking
Steve. It was great, man. It was really great. So yeah, I had a good time. Then I got interviewed this week by our buddy Scott Keck-Warren, who's starting a new podcast up, and that was fun. We talked about PHP Tech and submitting talks to PHP Tech. So that was fun. I'm actually getting involved with something that I'm really excited about. I used to be really, really big into open source, just the world of open source. And, I always had these fantasies of creating a business that was completely built on open source. And, all we ever did was use open source solutions. And yeah, that lasted about 3 weeks. But open source and the philosophy of open source was a big thing for me. I mentioned working in the enterprise. that's what I was known for, right? I was the open source guy. I was the one that kept pushing these open source solutions. And to my credit, in my little area of the enterprise, I introduced Linux servers, Apache, where we were paying all these crazy Microsoft fees for servers and their web server, which was a different fee, a licensing fee. And so, I got some credit, but back then the CTO just wasn't hearing it. It was the whole, this is too many uncertainties. But anyways, I was really involved. And I used to go to a conference called Southern California Linux Expo, Scale. Matter of fact, John and I, one of the first things we did as a couple, holding hands, embracing each other closely, was go to Scale. And we shared a table that was meant for PHP user groups. And so John and I, we even, one of our employees, we actually met one of them there so many years ago. And that's sort of thing. That's where I got my skateboard. Not that Scale. It was a different one.
Mm-hmm.
And so last year, before tech, I'm like, man, I need to slip into Scale and see if I can't, find another sponsor or two for tech. So I'd driven over, poaching, recruiting.
It's not really poaching because
they've already sponsored that conference.
And the people going to that conference probably aren't going to PHP Tech.
Right. It's a very different world. Although one I think we can leverage more. And we may be doing that. So anyways, I knew the person who created that conference, or one of the people who created that conference. Really nice guy. And I had seen him there when I'd gone, but he was way too busy. I'm like, it was over in Pasadena, so I'm like, I'm not going to bother him. I know what it's like to try to run a conference, but I wasn't sure if he had seen me. And I don't think he remembered me because I'd worked with him on some of the earlier scales. Matter of fact, there's still videos out there of me doing my first version of a podcast. I think before a podcast was a podcast, where I was interviewing the speakers that were going to be speaking at Scale. So I'm like, I doubt this guy even remembers me, but I started thinking about it. I got into my own head. I'm like, I'm going to email him in case he saw me. I didn't want him to think I didn't recognize him or I was ignoring him. So I sent him a quick email. Say, hey, doubt if you remember me, but saw you at Scale. Great conference. So happy to see you back in person. Blah blah blah. Wonderful job. And he sent me this very enthusiastic response. Yes, of course I remember you. It's great, So we started chatting. I'm like, yeah, if you ever curious, if you ever need some help, let me know. We're always looking for volunteers. So I got to talk to the Scale people this week, and it looks like I'm going to be doing some work with them as well. So I'm actually very excited about this.
Well, and it's exciting too to get an enthusiastic response that isn't a cease and desist or a restraining order.
Yeah, right. How weird is that?
Yeah, that's very.
And it was funny. The first thing the person asked me who was interviewing, not really interviewing me, but talking to me, they were like, "Where do you live?" I'm like, "I'm in Southern California. I'm right outside San Diego." She goes, "Oh my God!" She goes, "Okay, great. That's great. There's not a lot of us left in Southern California." I'm like, "Wait a minute. It's a Southern California exposition." I know. Just. So they were actually very happy to have somebody in Southern California who was willing to represent the Southern California Linux Expo. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm happy, and just kind of talking to that group again. It's like, oh yeah, now I remember why this stuff is so much fun, and kind of lose sight of that every now and then. I've been so focused on PHP for last 10, 12 years that I've lost kind of a little bit of my appreciation of everything. I'm on a Linux desktop, and obviously a lot of the stuff I run is open source, but it's become so second nature to me. It's not a big deal anymore. Like I don't think about doing it. I just that's just kind of where I gravitate to. But yeah, it was nice. It was good. I got a little bit of a recharge from that, so I'm really excited about it.
Because you're not stretched too thin as it is.
I had some time on my hands. What's another conference, right? So, really happy. My wife's gonna kill me. I'm sure of it.
And Sarah, I think Sarah might kill you too.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. What was that, Tom?
At this rate, you're going to kill yourself. This is overexertion easily.
Well, that's good because I have a nice little insurance policy on my head, so the current wife will be well to do once I pass.
Oh, I'm sure that's.
I just have to make it be like a natural causes sort of thing. That pays out the most.
I also this week I purchased a money pit.
There you go.
Right here. Can't
well,
quite see it.
Yeah, it's just black
box SLA printer.
What's an SLA printer?
It's the resin-based 3D printer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Show me what you printed.
I haven't printed anything yet because as much as I know about normal 3D printing, FDM 3D printing, this is an entirely different beast. It requires so much more work, and
you gave up on the other 3D printer. What
Exactly.
makes you think you're going to stick with this one then? If it's more work,
I don't think well. So it's actually less work to get a print going, but it's the finishing of a print that takes more work. So it's
you have to like curate it or something, right?
Yeah, you have to cure it. You have to wash it. You have to do a final cure on it. You can't get any sun on it, like while it's printing or anything like that. There's just you have to wash it with. Sometimes you have to wash it with rubbing alcohol. The stuff I got uses just plain water, but still, you have to have a bucket just for that so that you can clean it all out and recycle it and all that stuff. So there's a lot of post-processing you have to deal with, but it does make very, very nice prints. And I think the first thing I'll be printing is a shell for the Flipper Zero for the Wi-Fi module. Because I've got a giant box of clear resin. So we'll see. We'll see what that looks like. But it is a money pit right now because the list of things I realized I need to buy to do my first print is quite long.
Well, that was exciting.
Very exciting.
I need to I'm trying to find something here. Oh, okay.
What are you trying to find?
I'll tell you after this commercial break. Where's let's make fun of Tom. Do we have is the Honey Badger one that Tom is? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Folks, Tom Rideout here, and let me tell you, if you think listening to PHP Ugly makes you question my coding skills, you should see my actual code. It's why honeybadger.io and I are such a perfect match, like peanut butter and jelly, or me and questionable life decisions. Listen, I don't need more pie charts to tell me how badly I've messed up. I don't want to go through a library of logs, deciphering them like they're the Da Vinci Code of my own failures. What I need is Honeybadger, the only monitoring tool that says, "Hey Tom, you goofed up right here, and here's how to unfudge it." You see, Honeybadger is the cool professor who tells you where you went wrong, but also helps you get an A in the course. It tells you not just when the sky is falling, but which clouds are actually plummeting, so you can fix errors before your customers even have a chance to mock you on Twitter. And the setup? Oh boy, even I could get it running in less than 5 minutes, and I still struggle to set my microwave clock. So be your team's knight in shining armor. Go on a free trial with Honeybadger at honeybadger.io. Trust me, it's like having a sensei, but for code and a lot less yelling. See what catastrophes you've been missing and fix them before you become the catastrophe. That's honeybadger.io. Get on it. Now let's get back to getting ugly.
Thank you, Honeybadger.
Thank you, Honeybadger. All right. This is what I was looking for here.
The best ad read ever.
I love that one. That one's my favorite. So I said scale 11. So I think we're on scale 20 something now. I saw you post it in Trello, right?
21. 21.
So
that
this
was actually
thing-
thanks to A Woods. He posted it first. I just added it so it's in our show notes.
So this is probably, I think this is my second or third year.
Is that Lex Luthor?
Oh, great. Okay.
Look at that quality. Look at that quality stream right there.
Google Plus.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
Hey, we used to do ours on Google, remember? Back in the day?
go ahead and fire this off.
You need to turn down the volume.
All right. So, again, my name is Eric Van Johnson.
Eric Van Johnson,
I'm
baby.
here interviewing George Castro for Scale 11. And
Still-
talk.
Still do the head.
We have a
flop
tool that
thing.
does that called Juice.
Anyways, yeah, that was, and I think this was like the second or third year. I think I started either scale 10. I want to say scale 10 because I don't think it was scale 9. But yeah, that was way back in the day. Oh, I just wanted to share.
So that wasn't 2011, right? Scale 11 was 2012, I believe.
No, it would have been earlier than that because they didn't do scale during the pandemic, right?
I couldn't
Oh, wait.
remember. I
We're in
couldn't remember
2023.
the yes.
Oh, I could have looked at what's the date on the video?
Oh, that's
Shit.
smart.
I gotta bring it back. Here we go. This was
2013.
it just says 2013. Yep. Good call.
Yep. Well, I looked up Scale 11x and I see it was February 2013 because I remember the whole thing was turn it up to 11, and I knew you at that point. We had started Diego Dev in 2012,
Okay.
so I was just trying to remember that timing.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I looked at it and clearly at my office downtown, which was very short. I was only there for like a year. That was between the Enterprise and Diego Dev. So that's how I know that wasn't my first one because I think the first couple I was in my little home office. Oh, so yeah, good times, man. I've been trying to do this for a while. Haven't gotten any better at it. It's kind of sad.
Gotten better looking though.
That's right. All right, what do we got to talk about? Anything fun? Anything going on?
I had some interesting work with Doctrine today.
Go on.
I use Doctrine a little bit. I'm not super fluent in it, but I actually got in there and was trying to use entities, and the people that really put it in place put in a lot of entities around the tables just as almost like placeholders, getting things ready but not actually using them. So I'm like, oh great, I'm building this new functionality. I don't want to use the old active record crap that we're trying to get rid of. I'm going to move into Doctrine entities, get it working. So when a phone call comes in, I was creating records in a couple different tables successfully, and I was excited about that. Call ended. I needed to update and say, hey, this call ended. Couldn't get it to work. It's driving me nuts. I'm like, I'm not dumb, I don't think, but maybe I am. Tried lots of different ways, and I'm like, okay, it's because it's being done in a worker. I got to restart my workers. Nope, not that. Like, what is going on? Yeah, all of the entities that aren't meant to be used yet were marked read only. Turns out read only doesn't mean you can't insert. It just means you can't update. So you can, if the entity is marked read only, you can insert it, you can delete it, you just can't update it.
Makes perfect sense. I don't understand what could be hard to understand about that at all.
Yeah, that was news to me. And proud developer, I'm going to spin my wheels for at least an hour trying to figure out what the hell is going on, because there's got to be something stupid that I'm doing. And then it got worse because somebody said, hey, is it marked read only? I went, oh yeah, let me go delete that line. I delete the line, and now it's not inserting new records. I'm like, what the hell happened? Doctrine is all annotations, and it turns out you annotate it as an entity and then in parentheses call it read only. Not thinking, I just deleted the whole line. I'm like, the line makes it read only. So now it was no longer an entity, and Doctrine just crapped the bed, and like it didn't work.
What?
So
I'm
Doctrine
so
is
confused.
Doctrine's all annotations. So you put a comment above the class that
I
says
didn't know Doctor used annotations.
Doctrine.
Oh yeah.
Doctrine. Oh, Doctrine. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Jeez. I gotta pay
Doctrine.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
you first say this is an entity, and then one of the things you can pass into that is say it's read only. I just got rid of that line and then made things way worse.
Sounds right.
Let's just remove this right here.
Yeah, this line can't be important.
Is that this Trello card you put in here?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So read only. This means that the entity marked as read only is never considered for updates. Like, okay. Read only allows to persist new entities of a kind and remove existing ones. They are just not considered for updates.
Why? Well, it's read only, I guess. You can't update them.
Right. And if you look at the top, this whole page is about performance improvement. So by marking it read only, it doesn't even have to look to see if anything's updated. It's just like, well, we can just bypass this type of entity as read only. So you're going to gain that, a couple microseconds here and there.
Might make sense for some event sourcing solutions.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Well,
I'm trying to think of how that would help, because even event sourcing, I guess you're only writing to a table.
Right. You're only writing. You're never updating the entity table.
Yeah.
Or the event table, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good point there, Tom. Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Coming in firing.
I think there's an RC for Doctrine 4 now. Have you guys read anything into the new Doctrine?
No, not yet.
I'm gonna have to look into this.
Focusing on getting the PHP 8.2 first. It's been deployed into multiple parts of the environments, but not widespread, so we still can't use PHP 8 code. It's like, I want to get there. I can't imagine once we're there, the number of PRs that are going to open to be like, let's get rid of all this boilerplate code and clean this up.
So I did make some, not to change topics on you a little bit.
Go for it.
But I don't want to lose this thought. We're working on PHP Tech 2024. Call for papers are currently
you're still doing that?
Yeah. We figured, we put it on Twitter. We figured we'd just go ahead and keep with it. Why not, right?
I suppose that makes sense, yeah.
Why not? Yeah, let's share this here. Call for papers is open. Go ahead and share the screen. If you come over to speakers, this little button right here. John keeps yelling at me because I keep forgetting when we're closing call for papers, because I think we should close it this month, but we're actually closing it next month.
Mm-hmm.
Got a good amount of talks submitted. Really happy with what we're seeing.
We want more,
but we do want more. But I made some
ideas.
Updates to. I haven't pushed them live because I actually gave John homework, and then he just proceeded to completely ignore me and not do any of it.
Yeah, it's homework. Would do that.
I just haven't done it yet.
That I made some updates to the PHP 2023, or I'm sorry, PHP Tech TV, the PHP Tech 2023 videos. I had a request from somebody who says, hey, I'm interested in purchasing the virtual pass, but I'd like to see what talks are there in maybe a summary of them. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So you'll be able to now see the talks without being logged in. You just won't be able to play them until you log in. And if I can figure it out, I'm gonna figure out a way where you can play like 30 seconds, a random 30 seconds of the video. I just don't know how to do it yet. I was thinking about it over the week. I'm like, it'd be cool if you weren't logged in, you could still play like a random 30 seconds from the talk.
I know we could easily create new snippets through their API.
Snippets. Yes.
I don't know how you could, if you're loading up the full thing, I don't think you could limit it, but use the API to generate basically new videos of a random 30 seconds.
So the homework I gave John, I actually saw that in the documentation. I don't know why that didn't occur to me. I should look at that. That's a good approach.
Maybe tomorrow let's work on. I need to get it set up locally so I can actually code on it versus doing it live like I did at Tech.
Yeah, there's a Lando file I think in the repo. Just do Lando start and it'll fire up for you. Oh wait, you don't have Lando installed?
No, I think I do actually.
Oh, do you?
I think I do. All right, you're gonna make me prove it. Hang on. Yep, Lando start. Look at that.
There you go. Hit Lando start and then do Lando. I think it's MFS migrate. MSF migrate seed factory. Do in Lando and it'll should see the database. Oh, that's right. I've been importing the database. You need to do an export and import to get all the correct codes and everything. But yeah.
All right. I'll take the homework semi-seriously and might get to it. There's so much on our plates. Like there's that. I've been live streaming a little bit more with the running club and absolutely embarrassing myself. Eric and I are in the process of signing a new contract for a small site that we are going to possibly live stream as we do the setup on that.
That's way cooler. You're kind of burying the lead.
Yeah.
We gave them a discount on the job if they agreed to let us live code and our stream the coding, which only benefits them too, right? They can actually watch us work on their site. And they signed off on it. I'm like, wow, I did not see that coming. Oh shit.
Yeah. Speaking of bad business decisions, Elon Musk.
What about Elon Musk?
Oh, I'm not sure if you guys heard the news from yesterday, but boy,
is he Speaker of the House? But
oddly enough, nobody's Speaker of the House right now, which is another problem. But I hope you have all the accounts you want registered on X, because now he's going to charge $1 for all the new accounts that sign up.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
An experiment that they're running right now in, I believe New Zealand is one of the places. They say that they're going to expand it to the rest of the world, and it's the only real way to combat the spam bots.
Dude, it's good. It reminds me of Bill Gates saying, "Oh, we should charge a penny per email."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone immediately recognized it as the worst idea ever.
Spammers will spend $1.
Right.
Yeah.
Like once now it's a verified bot. I don't understand. It's the whole thing is crazy. I can't imagine what he possibly could have gotten this idea from, but yeah, Twitter. If you see a comment,
I think I know somebody who may have taken his idea. I think somebody's like, oh, $1 a year? Let's do that.
If you see a comment or want to post something on Twitter now and you don't have an account, it's going to prompt you for a credit card and you're just going to bounce. You're going to say, I don't care enough to pay money for this.
But see, that's the thing. They don't care anymore. Like that platform is so deep that that's all they worry about. We'll just market to the people on the platform. We've got a literal country of people here.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. They just do not care about bringing in new people, because everybody in the world either has a Twitter account and using it, or doesn't have a Twitter account and won't use it, and they're fine with that.
And
They're
there's smarter
closing the
people
gates.
that have one and won't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is crazy, and I can't believe somebody can actually do the amount of damage they're doing to a company just single-handedly. So apparently his investors aren't too happy with him either, because he didn't alone buy the platform. He got a loan from Saudi princes and kings and such.
Yeah, Jim. All right, I don't care about that guy anymore. We got so many things wrong in this country. You know?
I have on my son's baseball team somebody named Elon, and
Oof.
I was third base coaching, and my kids were right here in the dugout, and I heard somebody say Elon Musk as I'm trying to corral them, like, stay in the dugout, stay in the dugout, stay in the dugout. And I heard that, and one of them said he invented Tesla. I'm like, Elon Musk didn't invent anything. And I'm like arguing with 7-year-olds about Elon Musk. I'm like, he didn't invent anything. Get in the dugout.
Arguing with anyone who's an Elon Musk fan is arguing with 7-year-olds. So
That's true. All right, but you know what we won't argue about?
what?
What IDE we use. Hello, listener. This is Eric, the host of PHP Ugly, and it's really me, not some AI-generated voice, because I care about you, the listener, and think you deserve a real read of one of our sponsors. And that's what this is. Here at PHP Ugly, we are genuinely excited and happy to have JetBrains PhpStorm as a sponsor. We all use PhpStorm every day, and it makes development easier and fun. PhpStorm is a cutting-edge IDE tailored for PHP and web developers. Whether you're a professional PHP developer or a hobbyist working on personal side projects, there's never been a better time to check it out, or maybe to check it out again with a slick, clean new UI, blazing fast speed enhancements, and a richer toolkit that's transforming the way you code. Code like a professional. Visit JetBrains today at jetbrains.com/PhpStorm and kick off your 30-day free trial to start coding smarter, not harder. Now, back to the show. Thank you.
Thank you, PhpStorm.
John mentioned earlier, sorry,
Good.
I'm going to cut you off real fast. John mentioned earlier our Discord channel at discord.phpugly.com. A listener in the Discord channel brought to my attention a new JetBrains product called Writerside, which is, I installed it. I have the JetBrains toolbox, so you can just like go there and install things. And from what I gathered, I didn't spend a lot of time with it, but from what I gathered, it's like a just markdown. Like it's meant to help you create documentation.
And you don't have to download the standalone app for it. It's also a plugin into PhpStorm.
What?
Yeah, so you can just install the plugin. There's a nice intro video that kind of starts walking you through some of the niceties of it. But yeah, it's meant to make nicer documentation that you can then export.
That's crazy. I never even, I thought, I'm like, well, PhpStorm already has the ability to do Markdown. So I guess this would be for like a PM or somebody who doesn't want like a full-fledged IDE. And kind of, I played with it for about 15 minutes and kind of set it to the side. But yeah, what does the plugin do? So again, to me, it just it looked like it was Markdown. What's the plugin do?
I didn't spend a lot of time in it, but it's Markdown with some extra niceties. I'm not not super versed in it. I was starting to watch the video. I was into it and then got sidetracked by somebody, and I was like, crap. So I didn't.
What I was hoping it was going to do, and I looked, and it might do it. I just didn't find it. we've been talking so much about Postman lately. I'm like, you know what would be cool if this tool would let you import your Postman endpoints and write the documentation for you.
Mhm.
But
I think there's an Open API plugin, but that I don't know. But going back to this, one of the cool things that I saw was that I don't know if you can do in Markdown. Maybe you can, but it does tabs. So you can, yeah. So say you're writing up an SDK on how to use it, and then you want to do a Go, a PHP, a JavaScript tab to show code snippets.
Yeah.
So it automatically
Love
does
those.
that, and then you can switch between them. That I thought was pretty cool. Go ahead.
I was like, you know what I started using a lot? You and I had talked about it and then kind of abandoned it from a PHP architect standpoint. But I'm like, you know what? I still want to do this. And I ended up spending it on the Raspberry Pi, as a matter of fact. My little Pi behind me, that NTFY, the notification, that open source notification service. I've been adding NTF notifications to like all my little cron jobs and stuff that have been failing apparently, and I didn't know about it until I added my little notification that said, hey, if this fails, send me a notification. And basically all my backup jobs were failing.
No.
Don't you guys have a service that you provide that does that very thing?
No, that got shut down years ago. I want to go back to JetBrains first. Before you drag us back down there. Another
back down. I heard you.
Another thing that came out from JetBrains was on PHP Annotated. Brent put out a video. What reminded me was in your ad read, it has PhpStorm in the background doing a bunch of things, and one of the things it was showing was generics in comments. And Brent just did a talk. I think it was PHP. I forget where it was now. It was basically remote. He did a talk for a PHP conference overseas that says PHP generics aren't coming. Right. And he released it on PHP Annotated, and he talked about why PHP will probably never get actual generics in the language. But what I really liked in the video was not just why it's not going to be in the language, but also explaining how PHP Stan and PhpStorm complement each other, where PHP Stan is a static analyzer, but it's in bulk. It does your entire code base at once, where PhpStorm also does static analysis and can help you with generics, and it's more localized on the file real time as you're editing a file, showing you where you're making mistakes, where things may go sideways. So good video.
So I saw that come out. I haven't watched it yet. Sarah has just mentioned it in the past, saying generics seem like it's such a simple thing to implement, but it gets so complicated. Why did he say no?
He said there are basically three ways to implement it, and one of them is basically you create your generics, and then as you need it, PHP behind the scenes would basically make a copy of the class. So if you using the classic collection example, I have a collection of posts. You make this generic collection generic, and then when you say I want a post collection, it basically copies that and says, okay, this is for posts. Now you need it for authors. You copy that. Now you have a collection for authors. Now you need it for articles within an issue. So you're basically copying the code each time. There was another version.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because honestly, I've never worked in a language where I've used generics. But like my understanding of a generic is just saying you basically create like a generic implementation, and you can say, hey, for this whatever it accepts, like if it accepts a number, it has to return a number. If it accepts a post, it has to return a post. Like,
Right.
I mean, that's basically what a generic is.
Correct.
Okay.
But doing it at the language level has a lot of issues.
Mhm.
The second way, it would be put a lot of burden on future maintainers. Like they would have to change a lot of the code base, and the complexity of maintaining that long term just wasn't worth it. The third way is basically let people put generics in, but erase them before transpiling, or before runtime.
Mhm.
He says the problem with that is it would just be weird that you'd have some things that are enforced, like an int, and then some things that aren't enforced, your generics. So you'd have to really live in that weird hybrid world, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. Where because we're not a compiled language, do we really need it at runtime? He's actually advocating that maybe we don't need type checking long term at runtime. Like it should all be through static analysis that we do this, and you're good to go.
Oh, interesting. But okay, I mean that's part of the problem with a scripting language, though, right? You can't depend on developers doing static analysis of all their code before pushing it.
Yeah. So watch the video, because you're right. You can't. You're just not going to. But to get some of the niceties of generics, you might want to. And if we start steering people to do things a little more correctly, you could have an opt-in static analyzer at the PHP language level, instead of having a third party like PHP Stan or Psalm or whatever else. I mean, those could still exist.
So it would almost be like a pseudo compile. It wouldn't actually be compiling anything, but it'd kind of run through the process of if it was a compiled language.
Right. And Buttery says should be part of your CI. I completely agree. Especially if you're writing greenfield code, everything should be typed as best you can, and then have CI run the highest level PHP Stan you can.
John's got me hooked on for event sourcing, creating value objects for everything. I hated it. I still kind of hate it. Like the idea of having a value object for every inputted value in the application just seems like such overkill, but I can't stop doing it now.
Once you start,
I do like it, and it. I definitely feel like it's that whole. We've been running some articles in PHP Architect that talks about, it's okay to use a framework, but don't tie yourself to the framework. Like write good code regardless of whether you're using frameworks or not. And I feel like that's an example, like where I could just use standard Laravel validation and be good with it, and grab a request, run some validation on it, and move on. I feel like by doing value objects now, I can take that code and put it anywhere, and I have the value objects now. I just feel so much better about the code after I do that, and I hate you for it. Stop making me a better developer. God damn it.
I love our Discord community. They're jumping in, talking about the video that we were just talking about, and supplying correct information where I'm spewing out a bunch of garbage. Yeah, value objects, it's one of those things. Once you start getting used to them, it makes so much sense. Like, should I really be passing just a string into something versus a known valid name or address or whatever it is? And then you start taking all those things and doing a composite. Like an address has a street address, a city, a state, so it's a value object of value objects.
So let me ask you this. That's actually one of the things that I caught myself, a temptation I did not do, but I caught myself wanting to do early on with value objects, is again, being a Laravel developer, I'm like, well, okay, I'll just use the validation in the value object. And then I'm like, well, I'm making the same mistake, right? I'm still tying it to the framework. So I opted not to do that.
Wait, what do you mean? You talking about the Laravel validation versus?
Yeah, the
was gonna
Laravel
say-
validation rules. So I just
yeah.
created validation rules. The validation rules are in there. I'm just not using the Laravel validation rules. But let me ask you guys a question, because I don't think I've ever said it to you directly, John, but like I have stopped for years now trying to break an address down and like store it into a database as separate columns. I like to have an address column, and then if I ever have like a weird scenario where I just need the state or something, I know of ways to break down the address to get that. But especially with PHP Architect, there's like not a universal standard for an address. Not
It's a
everybody
pain in the
has
ass,
states.
yeah.
So I'm like, I just want one field. And we did the same thing when doing the author's database. I'm like, I just want one property for the address. But we talked about it, it's like, oh, let's just break it down. How do you guys feel about addresses? Do you like, let's stick with databases for now. Do you still go with the whole, a state column?
line 1, line 2, city, state, zip,
So
country.
can I, and I'm not trying to challenge you on this, but like, when has that been helpful for you?
So in the CRM that I manage, it's people want to find all their contacts within a certain zip code or a certain state or a certain city, where trying to then break that out of a full text field is really difficult.
Well, I mean, for states and cities and even zip codes, you could just do likes, right? I mean, you don't even have to
But
break
that's
that out.
but that's slow. When you're talking millions and millions of records, that is way too slow.
Yeah, and you've got issues like
It needs to be
cities
indexed.
named Paris in different states and countries.
Well, I mean, you have that issue anyway.
Yeah.
Well, no, but you can say Paris, France.
Yeah.
But if you're giving them an open input, then your like starts getting real messy. And
Searching is the big one.
yeah,
Searching. Okay.
which is why I actually use IDs for states, because even searching on a text string for everyone whose state is California is not great.
If it's indexed, it's not bad. That's where I start to disagree. When you start normalizing down to each state, you have a state table and then you're indexed to it. That is such a pain in the ass to actually look at a database table and understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our addresses in PHP Architect, because the people who originally wrote it weren't in the US, don't have the traditional city, state, zip. It's
What a pain in the ass.
city, province, postal code, I think, or something. It's just
Sometimes,
it's just different. It's like I go to do a query, I'm like, that's not right.
But they know that what it means. They still fill out the inputs the same.
I mean, it's fine. The whole thing is like we're sending them a magazine or we're sending them an elephant or something. It's like, well, I hope that gets to them, because that looks like a weird address there. I'm not sure what that means, but
Yeah, and it's like,
has an umlaut on it.
does this? Well, there's that, and does this country not do cities, or do like
Right.
like is it not a city? Not a like where's the
that's the
breakdown?
thing that always gets me. It's like, what's the city? Like, is this a zip code or is this what is this number here?
I go and I often take their address and I put it into Google Maps to find out, like, is this a legit address? Like, trying to figure out how to do it correctly. And then you start seeing where people live and you're like, oh, like, and then there's one, I'm like, they gave me an address of an empty corner. This is crazy. And I was like, I'm like, then you zoom out a little bit, it's like, oh, there's apartments back here. I get it.
Yeah, it's different, man. It's so different.
Yeah.
So much you have to be like aware of. And it's funny, my current wife actually asked me recently, just today or yesterday, one of the people that works with her, their time is 30 minutes off of ours. I'm like, yeah, there are like places like that are actually, you know, 6.5 hours, you know,
The-
the time difference.
That half
Bizarre.
time zone is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, we dealt with a lot of that with India in the enterprise. We had a, you know, outsourced place in India, and they were, I forget what it was, like 6.5 hours, and like that half hour was always weird. And I forget the reasoning behind it. There's some reason, but you guys can keep talking. I want to thank our supporters on Patreon. We got a new.
Yay.
John brought to my attention that a couple of names seem to be missing, and so I refreshed the list this week. And everybody on here, I didn't add the free tier people. I still haven't looked into that, but there's still that free tier that I guess I did read a little bit, and it said that you can share. It's essentially like subscribing on YouTube. It's their way of being able to show that they're part of your community, and we can like do blog posts and stuff that we just share with the community.
I
and
had
not
no
just
idea
the
we were
paid
doing
people.
this.
We weren't. This is something.
Oh, you weren't here
Patreon
last
rolled out.
week.
Yeah,
When
so
we
Patreon
talked about it.
rolled out, and it's, I guess it's not across the whole platform. They say they're slowly rolling it out, but our account now has a free tier that people can sign up, and then when we release content, we can release it just to our Patreon supporters, including the free people, or we can just release it to paid Patreon supporters. And
You sure you're
yeah.
not thinking of our OnlyFans?
Yeah, no, that we had to close. They asked us to close that because we weren't bringing any money.
We're tarnishing their reputation.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is there one name in yellow?
I don't know.
It's weird.
It just keeps doing it like they're a special person or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that. I should actually do my entire family in yellow so we can see. I mean,
Well,
I feel like
you could have
Kaylin's one of my
color code.
kids.
You could have family in yellow and employees in blue, and
It would all be, and then Buttery.
yeah, and then Buttery Crumpets just gets his own entirely custom color.
I should have made Buttery's font a little bigger. The guy's been our longest supporter on Patreon. Shouldn't say that. He'll go ahead and cancel his account.
You guys want some PHP stuff?
Absolutely.
Sure. I was going to talk about some Discord stuff, but go with PHP.
PHP has passed a unanimous change, a unanimous RFC. We discussed it in the past, the Bcrypt cost increase for the 8.4 release
Okay.
was voted 25-0, voted in.
I mean, it makes sense. Machines have gotten faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and interesting to me is that the winner of what should the cost be was 12, not 11. So it was increasing from 10, I believe.
And that's nanoseconds?
No, it's the cost factor, and it depends on the hardware you run it on. Back when I first started doing this, I actually tried taking time to figure out what, because you can customize that. You can put whatever you, not what the number meant. You can pass whatever cost you want into this. The default happens to be 10 now, going to 12, but you can increase that, and all it does is make it take longer to check a password.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, if you're only checking your password on login, you really should make that even higher, like make it 13, 14. But I did a bunch of runs, this going back, 10 years, trying to figure out how long it would take on the machines I was running on, because that is all dependent on that, trying to get to like around 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds to hash a password.
Are we going to have to rehash everything?
No, it doesn't. If you coded it right, it's all automatic. You should be
So
doing.
yes, Tom, you will need to rehash everything.
Damn it.
you should be calling password verify to verify a password,
Right.
and then you call password needs rehash or something like that, and that will tell you does the hash that you have match your current rules. So all your stuff currently has a cost of 10. If you call, once this goes into place, when you call password needs rehash and the new default is 12, it'll say yes. So you then rehash it with the 12 because you still have their current password at that point, and you save the new cost. You save the new hash with the new cost.
So I am going to have to do some work.
What's funny is, as an end user, it frustrates me because when you type in the correct password, you're let in right away. But when you don't, and you get that little spinny dial, you're like, okay, I know it's the wrong password. I fat fingered that. Just why are you taking so long? You know it's the wrong password because you know it's not the right password.
Yeah.
This is completely different than that one.
Well, I mean, the classic cartoon of like forgot my password and like password cannot be current password.
Yeah,
Come on.
I've had that happen to me.
I swear I tried that one.
Yeah. So if you're doing password, I'm sure Laravel already has that built in, where when it checks your password, it checks if it needs rehash. If you're calling password verify on your own, you should immediately be calling password needs rehash after that.
Yeah, which I know I'm not.
I did it because I went from homegrown passwords to actually using password hash and built all of that in place.
Oh, the good old days when a page was a page and had HTML and PHP.
Now that that's completely done, I mean, it's been done for years at this point. The code used to be, the passwords were MD5 hashed, and if you could pass in the correct password or the MD5 hash. So you basically had a clear text login way, so that's how our admin system could log into any account.
Oh boy.
That's like Facebook back in the day. I guess the actual code that Zuckerberg coded up for passwords, you could have whatever your password was, or whatever your password was in all uppercase, or whatever your password was in all lowercase. Like you had three
really?
versions of your password that you could log in with. And I guess
terrifying.
They because back then, when Facebook was first starting out, a lot of people, I remember, again, when I first started working in the enterprise, there were so many people that always wrote in uppercase. Like everything they wrote was in uppercase. I'm like, why do you guys do that?
They're always yelling. Well, speaking of yelling, there's my dogs yelling. I have to go fix that again.
Actually, if I go back 15, 20 years, when I was doing my own hashing, I think I was trying to be smart and MD5 hash multiple times. And I think I was checking on each iteration, so you could almost have like 20 or 30 different things that would work. It's like,
if you just happen to hit the right hash. You know?
Yeah. God, the stupid things we did years ago.
Oh yeah, that was that I think back at some of the crazy things, like you prefix it, like whatever the password was, you put your little salt in there so that even they didn't know what the real password was in the database. And
right.
Oh
so
my gosh.
So my salt was 16 characters split at 8, so you had your salt and your pepper on both ends.
I remember that.
It was so dumb. I was so happy when password hash finally came out. I mean, what was it, 5.7 when it was available?
Sure.
5.4.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember there being a shim you could put in place for a long time till it was official.
Okay, we're at about an hour 11. Do we? Anybody want to touch on anything else before we start touching each other? What?
So our Discord community is awesome.
Yes.
I just want to touch on a couple things they shared this week. Bruno, last week, Eric and I talked about Postman versus other clients, and somebody brought up Bruno as an option, an open source API client, and they had great success importing their Postman collection directly into this, where they tried it into
Oh, really?
HTTP and HTTP failed. They said
Nice.
they imported into this perfectly, no problem.
Ah. Does this have you looked at this? I don't.
I have not. I saw it and threw it on my Trello board, but it's so hard because we already pay for something, and then to spend time looking at something else, I just haven't.
Well, that's like the thing is like the thing I was looking at HTTP Pi for is team management, right? Like if it was just me, I would be off. I could easily be off Postman right now. Just seeing what HTTP Pi new GUI did, and then these other ones that people are bringing up, and that they're open source. Like I'm like, yeah, I could easily not use Postman, but it's the team management, like being able to share APIs in environments with the team is so key right now. I need that. So I'd be curious to see if this has that.
We really need to look into some of the other features that Postman offers too, and start taking advantage of it if we're going to keep paying what we're paying, right? The mock servers and all that good stuff. The other couple things that came out that was talked about earlier, I can't remember if that was today or yesterday. Looks like it was yesterday. Was different browsers, but I think they are Mac and Windows only. Arc and Sigma OS
Sigma.
they look really cool. And like, I worked on my Mac today when I was working remote, and I'm like, damn, I kind of want to move back to Mac as my daily driver. But I haven't done. I just haven't yet. I mean, I have everything set up. I have all my stuff working.
I have no interest in going back to Mac. Every time I touch my Mac, I get frustrated. I'm like, God damn it! And so I'm happy not being on Mac. But I mean, I could if I had to, I definitely could. I'm not saying I wouldn't be productive. I don't really have any interest in. Yeah.
Well, for me, I keep loading up HTOP, and we have big machines. I got 64 gigs of memory in my damn machine, and I loaded up HTOP recently, and I was using all 64 gigs and 16 gigs of swap, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you running?
Like 17 Chrome windows with 100 tabs each, 4 different PhpStorm tabs or apps. Yeah, just.
Do you think it'd run better on the? I mean, I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying. It's one reason not to.
These are interesting. Yeah, people are always showing me the Vim, the Vim browsers, which yeah, they're all right, but I don't.
You tell people are always showing you, or you're always showing people?
No, actually the Vim browser. I've played with a couple of Vim browsers before, but yeah, there's just too much. My world is too web focused that I can't risk like a browser that I'm using not being compliant. That's why I kind of stick with the Chromiums and Firefoxes. Yeah.
I mean, I run Firefox personally, but for work, I definitely run Chrome because it's just the most standard.
Yeah, it's so hard when you start looking at your web analytics and you're trying to decide, okay, I have this feature, I know it works on Chrome, and then somebody complains about Firefox, and it's like 1% of your users or less than 1%. It's like, Chrome just has such a stronghold.
And we had that happen to us at Tech, right? In PHP Tech TV, and actually Longhorn just had it. Somebody brought it to our attention. I guess Firefox handles SVGs very differently than Chrome does. And Firefox will definitely show you flaws with using an SVG if you don't use it correctly. And Chrome is much more forgiving. And we had it when we did some SVGs. I forget, it was on either the tech site or it might have been on Tech TV. And then, like I said, Longhorn just had the same thing with our logo, actually. Somebody had brought it to our attention that our logo looked pixelated on the Longhorn website. And of course, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it looks fine to me. And he's like, well, I'm on Firefox. I'm like, all right, I opened up Firefox. I'm like, I bet you that's that SVG issue. And sure enough, that's what I had sent them, was an SVG. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I kind of want to get off Chromium. I'm getting really... before the show today, I was complaining that my Chromium has just crawled to a stop. I mean, Chrome. I actually switched over to Brave, which is all Chromium-based, but Chrome, my actual Chrome browser, has like slowed to a crawl. Tom, you talked, I believe, a little while ago about how Google was making a change to Chrome that would render the extensions for blocking pop-ups,
blocking ads,
useless.
Yeah,
blocking ads. Did they implement this? Because this week or last week, like, all these websites started going crazy on me. Like, the graphics weren't generating right, and I had to go in. Each one I had to go in and start disabling the ad blocks that I had to get things to render correctly.
I'm not sure if that's the change that went live, but there was definitely a change that was something like that, and the ad block stuff is getting ridiculous at this point. I don't run ad block in Chrome anymore, so I actually couldn't tell you if it's just not working the way it's supposed to. Yeah, but the big change was just that extensions don't get access to pre-rendered versions of the data. So ad blocks now have to interact with the DOM on page. So if they remove a DOM element that rendered, then it can get like put back by JavaScript or something, or JavaScript can prevent it from being removed or things like that. So it's a bummer. But
I turned off all my ad blocking extensions this week just to see if my experience would get better, and it did as far as the rendering part. But for some reason now, since turning off the ad blocks, everything, my entire Chrome experience has like slowed down so dramatically. Buttery in Discord brings up PiHole. I have a few people who have implemented PiHole. Tom, I believe you have PiHole implemented.
I am running PiHole.
I keep wanting to go back to it. The only problem I have with that is I don't want another jump for DNS. Like I don't want to have to point all my internal machines to my PiHole for DNS resolution. And it's just
Why not?
because it's a pain in the ass. That's why.
It's really fun when the PiHole goes down and you don't realize it. So you're just... Some websites work, some websites don't because it's cached the DNS record.
There's got to be a 1.1.1.1 that is doing PiHole for you.
I bet you Cloudflare has something like that.
Cloudflare does have something like that.
Does it? Cloudflare DNS? Oh.
So you can, PiHole just uses a set of rules that decide which DNS server to look up things on. So you can just point at a number of DNS servers which are designed to do it for you. But
Cloudflare is the 1.1.1.1.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do the ad blocking.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
I don't see any documentation saying it does. Additional options, analytics, reverse. Yeah, I don't see anything saying ad blocking.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, John. There's got to be a service out there.
Well, Buttery is saying if you're going to do that, just point your router to the PiHole and point your machine. Let your machines auto configure to your router, which is the way it should be. But we all override it to, at least I do, 1.1.1.1, just because it's easy.
1.1.2.2.
And it's fast.
Mm-hmm.
I just went into my router and pointed it at my PiHole, and it worked fine. Like
Well, you're just a better person.
all my device. I am.
And it doesn't slow down for you at all. You no slow down.
No. In fact, I'm actually doing it a very dumb way and going out and then back in, because my PiHole is on an internal network that my smart devices can't access. So my smart devices have to leave the house and then come back through to the PiHole.
You know, after
you can use my
Longhorn,
PiHole.
after Longhorn, John and I are going on a little bit of a road trip. John's going to Dallas, and then I'm going on to Oklahoma to visit my mom, who is a notoriously bad internet user. I mean, she's that classic. I'd go to her desk, and she'd have like 8 toolbars because she clicks on everything. And I keep saying I want to implement a PiHole in the house because she needs it. Maybe I'll do that this trip. Maybe I'll try to grab a old Raspberry Pi, and get it installed and take it out there and see if I can get it running. Because that's so you just pointed your router to your PiHole.
Yeah, I'm not saying that word anymore after what I
PiHole?
just said. Yeah.
You want me to use your PiHole?
Yeah.
Here comes the titles.
Here comes.
You're the one that said it.
Yeah, I know. I immediately regretted it. Yeah, it's pretty simple to set up.
Offers Up His PiHole. Tom's PiHole. Let's do it.
Oh boy.
I don't know if I have a thumbnail creator tonight, but
You better.
you're right. Right? Not only have we better, but we like need to have like
It better be
awesome
the best
thumbnails.
The best thumbnail ever.
Put some, yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Inside joke.
Instantly regretting that one.
All right. That's it. I mean, obviously, if you're listening to the audio podcasts, I think we're going to wrap it up at this point. If you're watching the live stream, you're more than welcome to hang out for the after show.
13 viewers of the live stream.
We were up to like 16 or 18 at one point. It was.
Yeah.
We're pulling in the numbers, baby.
We're
Pulling in the numbers.
People are going
the
to get
next
that joke.
XQC.
All right. I'm I gotta queue up. Let me queue up the outro before I.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and hanging out with us. You make it worth it.
You can do. All right, that's it. You missed it last week, Tom. I legitimately couldn't remember how we ended the show. I was like, I was running through all the different endings of all the different podcasts. Like, wait, how do we do this one? All right, that's it for episode 357. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep
it
ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They're getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Buttery, I don't know why you got that from the pod. I don't know what you did wrong there. It says title. Oh, you edited it. Oh, you didn't put title in there the first time. Dude, I forgot all these things. What does YouTube? Does that actually still work? I need to work on this bot and actually have it do things. What does YouTube do? I forget. Oh, well, that's
So there's currently not a public PiHole DNS server because it gets, unless you're a big company and can sustain that kind of usage, it's quickly going to be attacked and brought down.
oh, interesting.
The host of the show, it says.
That's right.
I love that that's become more of an insecurity than like a statement of fact. Just constantly like, no, I'm the host, I swear.
No, I just say it because I know it bugs you. Yeah, the Primogen video I watched it. There wasn't a whole lot there. I'm like, all right. I thought it was going to be more.
Yeah.
So why does yours show both your Mastodon and your Twitter, but mine only shows my Twitter?
Actually, I don't know. And it's the current Twitter too. It's the PHP Architect Twitter. I don't know. I don't know how that happened.
What do you mean PHP Architect Twitter? When you did who was it?
No,
Eric?
it's the PHP Architect Mastodon
Yeah.
server, which was not what I was on originally. So I don't know why that's there. I need to look at that code. I don't know how that's. I forgot how I did that.
Oh, poor champ. Okay, we have to add buttery crumpets.
We do have to add buttery, right? I'll add buttery.
Number one fan, buttery.
And add
crumpets.
A Woods as well. Top title
Title King. There you go.
Doesn't work as a co-host. Yeah, I need to spend some time on the old bot. I forgot how you did that. Oh, all right. Let's get some show notes going. You know, I didn't see any family members except for the current wife in Discord before the show, like right at the beginning of the show. But any of the kids there?
I didn't see him.
Uh-oh. I guess I'm doing doing thumbnails here. Is that good? Let's see.
I'm so glad I had those cameras on this trip to monitor the children.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a party every night at my house.
Champ, it was the hat was talked about in Discord. That is the Lake Elsinore Storm hat. That's the minor league baseball team up by Eric.
And this is the Padres color because they're the low A ball for the San Diego Padres. So this is their hat.
You can't see the color. It looks black.
Yeah.
I thought that was Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon.
That's what it looks like, right? Yeah. No, it's not the Chupacabra or whatever. It's another like I don't know, urban legend creature, whatever. I don't care. They keep trying to use it as like a reference in their like shirts and stuff. I don't buy those shirts. It just bugs me.
Which shirts? What am I missing?
Lake Elsinore. They have like shirts and stuff that reference this urban legend Bigfootish like werewolf thing, which just bothers me, and I hate it. I don't know if it's the official mascot or not, but yeah. All right, what do we got here? We got we're a PHP stan, pushing other people's problems to production. That's pretty good. The dream of building open source, opening up about open source, reverse money printing machine. 3D Tom printing, scaling Eric, notifying your failure. Notifying you of your failure, I think is what you want to say there, Buttery. PHP is not generic. Ugly devs on the corner. That's decent.
What?
Tom offers up his PiHole. Bringing back browser toolbar.
You know that if you leave it up to NorCalculator, it's going to be Tom offers up his PiHole.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Have
us
you
bound
ever
to-
titled a show, John? Maybe I'll do that.
I have not titled a show. You know you want to.
I do. But I actually want to say Tom's PiHole, but that's actually Tom's. Tom offers, because yours is too long for a thumbnail.
No, it's not. Stop it.
All right. I'll go with John's. John's never done a title before.
Woohoo!
All right.
Oh, this 3D printer has a built-in slicer.
That's very cool. Apparently, ours can do slicing, but I can't. The one time I tried to do it, I couldn't figure it out. I messed it up.
It can
Yeah.
print a GIF. That's weird.
I don't know how it would do
We
that.
learned last week that it's pronounced GIF. Thank you.
It is not.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
I'm
That's
with
the way
Tom on that. It's a
That's
GIF.
That's the way I pronounced it, so that's the way it must be pronounced.
Incorrect.
Do you? It's a GIF. How do you spell GIF?
I normally say, I don't know.
You spell GIF.
How do you spell
GIFT?
How do you spell GIF?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't give out GIFs. You give out GIFs. So it's a GIF.
Yeah, it's the singular of gift.
All right. I guess
I don't
need to
like
confirm.
Giphy. I always say Jiffy.
Why do you
No, I
say?
don't.
Why do
Actually,
you
I
say
say
that
Giphy.
anyways? Why do you
don't-
say
I
Giphy or
don't.
Jiffy?
I don't. In my head, I say it.
Oh, I think they're at the museum tonight.
Again?
Aha.
Oh,
Yeah.
they go there
Museum.
all the time. Pretty sure. I'm messaging them now. Let me look
They
at
have to
that
leave the
last
museum now and get home.
I don't see
Champ,
in
don't
the
take his
text.
side.
Not next week. Yep, there it goes. Not next week. Damn it.
We didn't talk about writing for the magazine in exchange for a PHP Tech ticket. And we didn't talk
Damn.
enough about PHP Tech.
We talked about it a little bit.
A little bit,
Call
but
for
not enough.
papers and all that. Yeah, you're right. We need to make that a like. Maybe we need to do a little commercial for it and just have something we can queue up.
Good idea.
I feel a AI generated Tom commercial coming. All right, I gotta do a damn thumbnail now. You know it's you, Tom, right? Because
Oh yeah, no, it's
Well,
gotta be.
yeah,
Is it going to be an apple pie?
I know.
Raspberry Pi? It's got to be a Raspberry Pi, doesn't it?
It doesn't have to be. I know what I'm doing. I wasn't prepared to do a thumbnail today.
But is it going to be like facing away from the camera, looking back at the camera, holding out a Raspberry Pi.
You're asking a lot of questions. God damn it! Maybe you need to do it. I think maybe you need to do one. Oh, we need a thumbnail. Is what we need.
Yeah, I don't know how to use that service. Why are you using Canva? Why are you using your Discord fancy image thing?
Because it doesn't do words, and I mean, I could.
You put
Oh,
words
I mean,
on
just-
the final product.
Just for the picture.
how would I put Tom's face in there though? How do I put your face in there, Tom?
You have
Just
to train
take
it on my face.
Or just take any picture and throw his face on top of it. You got plenty of his face.
All right. New game for the 12 people still hanging out. Give me a mind journey prompt for the title. Yeah, mid journey. Sorry, thank you.
Mid
Prompt for
journey.
the title. Tom's PiHole. Offers his PiHole. I'm just gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put the title in there and see what happens.
Share your screen and teach me how to use Mid Journey. I've never used it.
I am so bad at it though. But yeah, I'll share it with you.
Then don't share.
I'll show you how it works. Window, Mid Journey. I mean, it's really just this easy. Oh, here we go. So it's really just this easy. So you say you just do imagine, and then funny cartoon.
I want to see this.
For PHP Ugly.
For PHP Ugly Podcast thumbnail with the title. What was it? Tom offers
Up his PiHole.
up his PiHole.
Thank you.
I mean, like you can be as simple as that, but a lot of times you get like a lot more detailed. Let's see what happens. You guys are seeing all the people I DM with. Things are happening.
Not for me. This damn thing's not working.
What is this one gonna be?
None of that is correct.
I need another
Not cartoon.
yeah, not cartoon. Gotta wait for it to finish up. There it goes. So let me I don't understand how any of these are. That's just not what I was thinking. What is going on down here? What is this thing? Yeah. So
There's some really weird stuff in there. Huh?
I have a whole Mid-Journey styles bookmark. Of course, it's in my other Chrome that I now have closed. Style parameters. 50 of the best prompts.
What is this Twitch? It's the Morton coming. The what? So in Discord, it's Angeli188 Blob, and then when I see it on Restream, it's all characters. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, I see avatars.
Right, that's what I mean. But in Discord, it's not avatars at all. It's Angeli188 Blob.
Oh, because he's on Twitch.
Right.
He's on Twitch. Yeah, that's why. So those are just the avatars on Twitch. They just don't translate in Discord. But Restream knows how to handle them. So Restream figures it out. Because you see how it has the little Twitch logo next to his avatar?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, that's because... Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Morton. I forgot on the Twitch channel.
Oh, you put it
For-
to PHP Roundtable?
No, on the PHP Architect Twitch channel, I disabled chat, so you can only chat through avatars. You can't. I forgot I had done that, and I meant to take it off before the show. Sorry about that, Morton. I'll try to remember to remove that next week.
So
you
you disable chat, but you can chat with these weird avatars.
So you can't disable chat. You can disable text chat, where all they can do is post avatars, which is haunting now that I look at the avatars they posted.
That's what I was thinking. I was wondering about that. So with my live streaming, I've been going straight to YouTube, and I'm like, is it okay to go to Twitch and YouTube, or should I be going to Twitch instead of YouTube? Like, what's the protocol these days?
We don't have anybody on Twitch, so if you don't go to Twitch, it's not a big deal. When I go through Restream, I'll just push it to everywhere in case somebody's there and it catches their interest. But I really focus on YouTube because that's really.
But is it against their terms of service if you're doing both Twitch and YouTube at the same time?
No, it is if you have a contract with them. Like if you're a Twitch streamer or a YouTube streamer, you negotiate whether you can do that. But not for us. We don't have any contracts in place with either one of them. So we're not content providers for them. We just stream. I'm looking through art styles here, Tom. I haven't forgotten about you yet.
All right, then next time I'll do both.
Yeah, I've been pushing Roundtable and Ugly to PHP Architect as well, both the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. Because again, I mean, if you just happen to get somebody.
So right now we're streaming right now to both PHP Arch and to PHP Ugly, and to both Twitches.
And I did the same thing with Roundtable as well. I did just push it everywhere. I really kind of.
I'm sure there's some. There's some sort of TOS somewhere that we're violating doing that.
If somebody brings it to our attention, we can. Not like we're making money off of it.
I don't think there is.
I kind of keep going back and forth. Yeah. Like we have a pretty good established community around PHP Ugly. But I keep wanting to just start putting everything through the PHP Architect channels and just doing away with all the other ones. Just having everything there. It's just easier to manage.
Sure. PHP Ugly, a PHP Architect product.
Pretty much, yeah. But we're gonna change the name to PHP Ugly.
Yeah.
Come on, that was funny.
I like it. Well, you see, I slipped the little PHP Media logo on the intro, right?
I missed that this time.
Did you miss it? It's there. I mean, it's been there for a while. Here, check it out. Lower right hand.
I'll see that.
I'm giving up a mid-journey. I could have done something.
Hey, talk about the new Pest video we released. We should have talked about that.
The new Pest. Oh, right. I just did that this morning.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Morton went over to YouTube.
Saw
that. No problem, Morton. Check on. Yeah. Rick and Morty started back up.
I haven't watched any of the new ones yet, but it's.
I think it just started. I haven't watched it either. You know they have a new Rick, new Morty, right?
Is it a new Rick?
Yeah, it's new Rick and new Morty. They say it's.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. They say.
Before you continue, Just so you guys know, this is the after show. We've already recorded the podcast. We're now just hanging out, having fun, just doing whatever.
Neither of those things.
Not having fun because Tom doesn't have fun. He's not allowed. Court ordered. No fun.
No, just my day just sucked.
Dude, I can't even get excited about doing a thumbnail right now. All right,
Just
let's do it.
Just tell your kid to do one while they're, after having fun at the museum, which I'm sure they are not intoxicated at all. Because
They can
your
do it
kids
tomorrow, right? They can do it tomorrow. What's
Yeah.
The Museum of
Yeah.
Wine.
With the thumbnail.
Yeah, they
Right.
go there, drink, and they do like a who's a murder mystery thing, I think.
Oh, that does sound fun.
All right. I'm gonna make them do it tomorrow. I don't care.
Wait,
I got a
did
pretty.
Did you
You
just
see the
say
picture
something
that we
sounds
have
fun?
Yeah, drinking murder mystery? That absolutely sounds fun.
That you have to leave your house for?
Yeah.
What were you saying, Eric? I gave up on
What
that.
was I saying?
The
I honestly don't remember.
thumbnail picture.
Oh, I have a. It's an AI generated thumbnail. For
getting
the
started?
live stream. Yeah.
For the live stream. Yeah, I did see that before we started because you had it on Facebook. Looked really good.
Yeah, the little colors. I like the colors. I think I have like 4 or 5 of them. I did. So I'm gonna try to switch them out every week. All right, let's get show notes done. I'm not gonna worry about thumbnails.
Yeah.
Show note time.
Your kids got to try out their new toys.
That's right. So head over to the back computer.
I added tech for next week to my Trello board as a reminder. Hey, since you're hanging out with us,
Add the blog post too.
all right,
You share
I'll do
share
it.
that in Discord if you want, but
Will do. Yes, sir. If you're still listening, if you want to write for PHP Architect magazine and become a published author, we will send you a print copy of the magazine, and you can choose to be paid cash, or we will give you a ticket to PHP Tech in 2024.
look how pretty this. Like, where'd my restream go? Am I still on? You still see me? Look how
Yep.
pretty this magazine is. This is a quality magazine here, right here. This is quality paper. You guys, nothing. This is what you get when you write for us. You can actually get this and not write for us if you want to pay for it, but I still enjoy getting the physical magazine in. We've got a lot of new contributors now too. We've got a couple new columnists coming on board.
Oh my gosh, yeah. My wife does the editing, and all of a sudden, like, I'm pulling in all these new columns. Like, what is going on?
Been hustling, baby. Been hustling.
Hi, Caesar.
Yeah, so I have to buy like rubber mats, gloves, paper towels.
Who are all these
funnels.
people coming in so late? Like, it's late for us West Coasters. Kevin, where are you at? Where are some more Morton? Where are you guys at? Curious. Just like, are you in the U.S.? Are you West Coast? I don't have to get real specific.
Overseas.
Yeah.
Can you give us your coordinates, please?
your PayPal account. Crypto wallet. I'll give you prove to me you are where you are by sending me some crypto.
Dallas, Texas. Are you going to be at Longhorn next week or 2 weeks from now? I will. It's 2 weeks from yesterday. Oh, I mean, technically, it starts 2 weeks from today. We leave 2 weeks from yesterday.
What?
Kevin, I keep saying Kevin. I don't know if it's Kevin. I will be in Dallas right after Longhorn.
Mm-hmm. We'll be riding through Dallas.
I like Champ says it was only him still listening, and then we get people chiming in. Nope, we're here too.
We've got 14 viewers still.
What's going on, man? What is going on? I feel weird. So I did do something different. I'm curious how people, like anybody knew that found us, how they found us, because I have control over several social media accounts, and so throughout the day, different accounts would send out, posts of, hey, this is happening at. I think PHP Arc said, hey, stream starting about a half hour, but SDPHP said, hey, stream starting in an hour, and
Saw one in 10 minutes.
yeah.
I thought the keynote. Yeah. So, Kevin, any specific reason you're only doing remote, not going live? For me, conferences are so much more about just the content that you get. The in-person interaction, meeting people, networking, it's what gave me confidence to leave the position I was at for so long. Once you realize there's more out there than just where you're at, it's really good. The person who left PHP, was that Ed Finkler? It's got to be, right? Oh no, Sammy left. Why I left?
Sammy left. Yeah, Ed and Sammy both kind of, did their own thing for a while. Kind of stepped out of the community, and both are starting to make a little bit of a comeback.
Come back to PHP Tech in 2024. We're back in Chicago. The venue, it's one of my favorites. Yeah, the three people they have doing keynotes are all great people from the community, even if they've kind of moved on. Sammy left for quite a bit. He was huge in the community and really needed a break.
Yeah, well, he's like running some farmer now or something. He's like doing a farm, or I don't know. And where was he working? He was working somewhere. I'm always surprised at where he worked. I forget. But yeah, I think he has like a family farm now, or some variation of a family farm.
Kevin is giving us a keynote recommendation.
I'm actually down for that. Do you know, Kevin? Do you know Brian? Can you Can you do a little introduction? I'll be down. I love having outside PHP people come in and do keynotes.
Hey, works at Oracle.
Yeah.
PHP, I think, tries really hard not to make too many breaking changes. I mean, we are making some changes, trying to move forward with the language as a whole and trying to improve some of the crappy things from way back. But all in all, your code, for the most part, will still run. Bye, Seven. Moving away from dynamic properties, while I understand what you're saying there, my code has gotten better with stricter type hinting, type checking. I've sort of become a better developer at times. There's times where I question that and really think I should go back into a box, but oh no, the tools we have like PHP Stan and Psalm have made me try to write better code. Makes me stop and think when I'm passing something, if I'm passing the right stuff, if I should use a value object or something other.
All right. I've done everything I can do until I stop the stream.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
We've been going for a while anyway. Honestly, all the new people that have joined us, if you join us in Discord, discord.phpugly.com, seriously, let us know how you found us. Love to hear.
And hang out there all week. We the Discord doesn't stop because the show stops. The people, Buttery, Champ, A-Woods, all those people,
Seven.
we all hang out there all week long.
And so many more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. I have to stop the stream so that I can start editing the audio for our European friends. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us. And
Thanks everyone.
See you next